Hey everybody, welcome back to another great video. Today we're out here in nature, or the college campus duck pond, I guess you could say. We got the 20 to 70 f4 lens here, and we're going to be shooting it on the A7R2. And right now the A7R2 is rigged up with the 24-105 f4. And what I'm setting out to do is find out which one of these lenses is going to be best for you. What's your purpose for it? What are we going to need it? And find out, do you really need the extra width of the 20 millimeter? Or do you want the more reach of the 105? That's what we're going to find out. You know, which one's going to be suited best for you. Now, right away, I'll tell you, this 20 to 70, it's smaller, it's lighter, and it's more modern with some newer features. We'll get into those in a little bit. But let's go ahead and do a quick shot comparison before I lose my sunlight. We got some sunlight coming through the trees. We want to shoot into that sun, see what kind of range we're getting out of both these lenses from the 20 to the 24. A nice wide shot right here we've got set up with the duck pond and the A7R2. So let's go ahead and get those shots. We'll switch the lenses out, see what we get with that. We're going to be shooting full frame on these tests all day long. Okay, so here we are. The 24-105 shooting 4K at 24 millimeter. No picture profile, none of that. We're just a good idea of what we're getting for range and what our aspect ratio is. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and grab a couple photographs here. We'll do this. We're going to shoot this at f4, showing you wide open, ISO 100. We'll overexpose and try to pull down the highlights. We're going to bring this at 1.7, so we're shooting 1/500th. Take a couple shots there. All right, same position at 105. See what we get. Okay, a couple shots at 105. Let's go ahead and shoot what looks like about 70 on this lens. That's dead center on the 70, so that's how I'm judging this. All right. So let's go ahead and jump up to f8 now. We want 1.7, so it's 1/25th of a second. We're at 24. A couple shots there. Let's go ahead and jump up to 105. I'm going to leave that exposure the same, going to 105, because we're seeing a drastic decrease. And we're going to go back to 70, right in the center. Okay, let's go ahead and put the 20 to 70 on and see what it looks like. All right, same camera position. Let's see what we got here. Go ahead and go back to f4. The 1/500ths. We're going to go down to 1/400th for the 1.7. There we are at. The sun's still coming through a little bit, looks like. Let's go ahead and jump this up to 70 millimeter. We're going to shoot this one at 50 in that mid-range. Okay. Let's test it at f8. Hi, how you doing? This is f8, 1/100th. Let's shoot this at 70. And back at the 50 millimeter. Got a nice little reflection shot with the sunset coming in. I'm gonna see if we can't frame this up, something kind of cool looking here. This pond's really still right now, which is uncommon because usually I'm over here in the summer and the grass is all green. There's birds buzzing this pond all the time. So we're gonna do a couple test shots right here. So we're back at f8, 1/100th, even exposure. Let's go ahead and let's boost our exposure up a little bit. I'm running this kind of slow. I don't want to go too much. Let's do a 0.3. So we're shooting 20 millimeter right now. This is uncommon for me. I don't have a 20. And this is making me want one, really. So f8, 1/250th minus 1.3. Get that sky detail in there. There, now I'm gonna try to do something with this tree here. Let's see if we can get it. I got two reflections of these dead trees, look kind of cool. Do an overexposure. Okay, and let's go ahead and start getting that exposure at 0. We want 0. There we go. We were +1 on the last one. Go to 0 now. -1. And let's bring it down to -2. You know what? One more for Sid's keeping. Really want that cloud detail and that light coming through those clouds. All right. Now, I was shooting at about probably 40 millimeter, maybe 45 millimeter. We'll find out here in a second. I'm liking the 20 millimeter aspect, the extra width. It definitely, for nature, I would definitely say the 20 millimeter is the way to go as far as the 20 to 70. You always have the option to bump this up to a 105 with the APS-C mode. It's easier to get further out, but it's not always easier to get wider. So that's definitely something to consider when you're thinking about one of these lenses is do you really need that extra bit of width? By the time you do a post-in crop or you just shoot in APS-C mode on a camera like the A7R II, where you're still getting a pretty high resolution image, I mean, you can create some pretty good images still that way. So it's hard to justify a 24-105 in my mind for a full frame camera when this gives you a wider shot, and you still, when you're zooming in, you still have that option to go further where you don't have the option to go wider. So it's really making me lean toward saying that the 20 to 70 is a better choice than the 24-105. Now, giving you a quick comparison of these two lenses, the 24-105 G lens with optical steady shot. This lens does have optical steady shot where the 20 to 70 does not. It's relying solely on the camera's in-body stabilization. However, for most landscape tripod work, that's not going to be an issue. What this lens gives you in addition that the 24-105 doesn't have, come on, what's up the horns? Or what the 20 to 70 gives you over the 24-105 is you get two of the lens buttons. So if you're shooting portrait or landscape, you have that same button location, where the 24-105 only has the one on it. It also features the aperture ring on this lens, as well as an iris lock. So you have that going forward as well. I mean, I really like having the aperture rings on my primes. So the newer lenses Sony's releasing with the aperture ring are very appealing to me. Where the 24-105, it's a beast of a lens. You know, it's getting dated. This one's actually taken a couple falls. It's held up really well. I've repaired it once. It still works great. But if I was going to replace it, I think the 20 to 70 would be my choice to replace it with, just because one, it's smaller and lighter, and I still have that option to go with more reach if I need to with APS-C mode on a full frame camera. Likewise, shooting this lens on my FX30, you've got extra width than this one will give you, and you're already at 105, so you're shooting basically a 30 to 105 lens on the FX30, and that's a great range for video. I've shot a lot of stuff on my 24mm prime on APS-C in most events, and that works great for me at that 36.5 it gives you. It works great. The extra width of the 20 helps tremendously. I might lean towards something like this. If I were going to replace my 24-105, I'd definitely consider this 20 to 70. I'm really liking it. I like the landscape aspect of it. Where I don't like it is it's an f4 lens. I'd like to see maybe a 2.8 in this lens. That's unrealistic, I think, for the size. I mean, you gotta give it that trade-off. I like the aspect of 20mm. It's the first time I've been able to shoot a 20mm lens on my camera. I've got a 16mm prime that I used for the APS-C, but it's not full frame. So, you know, I'm still getting a 24mm aspect of it. So that's the widest I can ever shoot is 24mm. And having an extra width of the 20 really makes a lot of sense for me, jumping between both cameras. Like I said, the FX30 benefits from being a little bit wider, as well as on the full frame, I get that extra width in a landscape. They're both great lenses. They both produce excellent results. You know, my preference of the two, if I could have one or the other right now, this second, I think I'd take the 20 to 70. Which I was surprised. I didn't think I'd like it over my 24-105, but I actually really am enjoying this lens. So with that, guys, if you like this video, give me a like, thumbs up, always appreciated. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll talk to you later.